Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Love and Light Show, where today we have your special guest, Monique Ellis, who is a health coach, and she's going to help us in building so many healthy habits for a happier and healthier life. And we have a really great show for you today. If you feel like you're having trouble, if you're self-sabotaging, if you need to just add more self-care into your life or let go of things, she's also going to walk us through a beautiful exercise on letting go and decluttering. So be sure to stay through it the whole time. And if you're not familiar with the Love and Light Show, we go live every Monday at 12 Atlantic, 11 Eastern, to bring you different light workers and coaches and healers to really propel you forward on your healing journey, to give you a lot of little samples and taste testers of all the amazing healing modalities and exercises and tips and tricks and strategies that can move you forward on your journey so that you can heal and create more space in your life for happiness and health and wellness, and then in turn give it to other people in your life, your friends and family, your coworkers, so that you can raise the planet together. We can raise the vibration of everyone and just really be that change that we want to see in the world. And I'm Laura McPhee. I'm a happiness coach and healer, and I love empowering women to get to their dream happy lives. So I usually do that through theta healing and life coaching for people pleasers and perfectionists, workaholics and caregivers, people who are always putting other people first and self-sacrificing themselves so that they can move forward in their life, letting go of all their stress and worry and overwhelm, all that junk and baggage that's been holding them back so that they can live happy, healthy, fulfilling, abundant, amazing lives. And one of the ways that I love to help people get the more abundant ways is through my Clearing Money Blocks 101 workshop, and also now combining it with the wonderful spiritual goddess, Kara Melendi, for Clearing Money Blocks and Manifesting Abundance workshop. So our next one is coming up in a couple weeks. It'll be April 19th at 8 Atlantic and 7 Eastern. So those are for our wonderful online community, because we know that everyone's not local. So we did it in Moncton about a month ago, and now we're bringing it online so that everyone can benefit from that and feel more abundant and just lift each other up so that we can have this most amazing life that we're all desiring. And if you want to get on the early bird for that, I'll also put the link in the comments. There's really awesome bonuses, guys. I started sharing in my stories some of the wallpapers that you can get, because I love reminders for any kind of shift or change or habit that I'm building in my life. So there's really awesome wallpapers of like, I'm abundant, I'm claiming my birthright to abundance. There's really awesome bonuses that you get like immediately when you sign up. So I highly recommend that you guys do that. And also say hi as you're joining us, because I can see that we have 5 viewers live, but unfortunately on the Be Live platform, it doesn't let us know as you come in. So let us know, even if you're catching the replay, say hi, join the conversation. If you have any questions as we go along, we'll answer you. So Kimberly says, hi, ladies. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. And we'll introduce Monique in a second. So how are you doing, Monique?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Laura.
You're welcome. I'm so excited for people to get more of this message out there, and that so many people are doing all this wonderful stuff about self-love and self-care and really raising the vibration of ourselves so that we can be better for everyone else around us. So you guys definitely like and share. That always makes us feel wonderful. It totally benefits the Facebook algorithm so that it gets out to more and more people who can use this message. So we're going to give you so much valuable information during this session. Definitely share it out to your favorite groups, to your favorite people, tag any friends or family members who would definitely benefit from it below, and definitely comment as we go along. So Chris says, hi, Laura. Hope you're having a great day. So I'd love for you to share more of your story with everyone, Monique.
Sure. So I decided to become a health coach for my own personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I've struggled with weight my entire life and tried every diet under the sun. So I really had two options. I could either become a health coach. I was going to hire a health coach, but I figured with my personality, I needed the best.
Mm-hmm.
20 years of coaching experience behind me, so I know what it means to be a strong coach. Or another option where I could probably write a bestseller on excuses. I could justify everything I did or did lack of doing with a wonderful excuse. So those are my two options: become a health coach or best time seller for a book on excuses.
Nice.
So I decided, for health reasons, to go down the health coaching route.
Mm-hmm.
And my big area, I ate healthy and exercised, but the weight still stayed on.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize there was so many other aspects of, your health and your weight,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them being self-care.
Definitely.
And a lot of people say that, they think it's food, that's the problem. And no, food is actually the solution. Um, but the problem, we don't look at the problem. We need to find out why we turn to food and
Right.
start to recognize triggers and our behaviors. So for me, I lacked self-care. I just didn't see the value in it.
Right.
I didn't understand it really. So I didn't, it wasn't incorporated in my lifestyle. And when you start looking at, I have what I refer to as a transformation wheel with all the aspects that I go over. When you start incorporating each little piece, it all tends to blend together, and it just falls in place. So you're not feeling like you're beating your head up against the wall.
Yes. So true. We have more people joining. Hi, Tiffany. Oh, are you hearing that echo? If
Uh,
it's just me, that's fine, as long as no one else is hearing it.
no, I'm not hearing it.
Okay, great. Perfect. So how can you help people who know that they're going to have those like excuses that they're going to self-sabotage? How do you help your clients move forward from that?
Uh, well, it's first recognizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times you don't recognize the triggers.
Yep.
And so everybody wants the instant gratification. I'm
Yep.
telling you, if somebody offered a diet program or a weight loss program that said guaranteed you're going to lose 50 pounds within 24 hours, everybody would say, sign me up. Like it would just be guaranteed, right? But the reality is everybody wants instant gratification. So
Right.
yes, you can take the weight off really quickly. Some people, I'm not one of those people. I struggle for every pound, but I know it. But some people can take the weight off really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're not changing the why you're eating, rather than what you're eating, if you're not changing that why, then the end results are you're just going back to the starting point.
Yep.
So as a health coach, what I do is I help uncover the why. I We really make habit change.
Nice.
It's we look for what's your norm, and then we try, I work with your lifestyle. What would work in your lifestyle, and we try and replace one negative habit with something that's more positive and that will help their health. And it's
Wonderful.
recognizing when self-sabotage shows up. It's recognizing your different triggers, whether it be emotional or environmental.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll touch on that towards the end of the show with that exercise I was talking about.
Yes.
Because there's just so many different aspects. And really, all we need to do is we just have to show up every day. Some people, that's a big thing, that they don't want to try anything new because they're so tired of, in their mind, failing. But if
Right.
you're failing, you're trying.
Exactly. Fail forward.
For me, I'm like, I fail every day, and
Yeah.
I do it, and that means I'm trying every day. And
Mm-hmm.
so many people, it's just, some people just need that little nudge to get
Right.
started. And some people are very self-motivated, and maybe that's all it takes is one session, a little nudge, get you going, and you're on your way. Other people enjoy the structure of the one-on-one weekly calls, but that's
Definitely.
really personal preference. Everybody's different.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And how do you help people who have those million excuses just like you? So, like, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, blah, 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 all the different excuses.
Well, I'm kind of a tough love coach, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll just call you out on it. Like I really will.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client that she had talked about. I was mentioning self-care and the importance of it, and she said she used to go to yoga, and she really loved doing the yoga. She loved the
Mm-hmm.
meditation, but she hadn't done it in over a year. And I'm like, well, why is that? Oh, well, the place I was going shut down. And she says, I can't find any other places. And she actually lives local. I'm like, you can't find any other places that do yoga? No. I said, that's bullshit. I said, you didn't even look. And within, we hung up, and probably within 15 minutes, I got a message where she had reached out and contacted them.
Perfect.
And a lot of the times, the excuses, some of them are, you just don't know another option.
Right.
And so you feel overwhelmed, and you don't even know where to start, and that's you just have to start.
Exactly. And for a lot of my people too, they'll get trapped by those limiting beliefs, those excuses. So I ask them to change it into a question. Instead of I can't, it's how can I? Or just go to the higher vibration of I can, and I'm going to be super resourceful and find a way, so that they can kind of move past what those excuses start to be and find like little wiggle room, so that they can like make more space in their life for cool opportunities, like walking by a yoga studio and being like, oh my God, there's one right there. Like when you open your mind to that, the universe like rushes in to support you and show you all the different potential things that you can do.
And it's crazy because one of my blockages was with time, and I would always say, oh, I don't have time. I just don't have time. And then actually my coach called me out on it not too long ago, because I had a couple of people reach out and ask me for help. And I said, sure. And he reached out and said to me, well, for somebody who has no time, how come you can help so many other people?
Exactly.
So, yeah, you got a good point. But it is mindset. So it is a great, and the way you said to rephrase it as a question, I think that's really valuable. But a lot of times we don't even realize it's just easier to give an excuse, and you can justify them in your mind.
Definitely. So how are some of the quick and easy self-care ways that you recommend for your people? I know that when we were talking, you were kind of talking about how it's just as easy as moving your body. So how do you recommend they do that?
Well, with the self-care, and I know some people, they're all, oh, I can't afford it. And it doesn't mean that you're going to go and drop $500 in a spa. I mean, if you want to do that, great. It doesn't have to mean that. It can mean just taking an hour to yourself. And, if you have a deck, if you're out, sitting and reading, I enjoy doing, I like to soak in a hot tub. And I have the instrumental music playing with the candles. And so I have like a little mini spa, and doesn't cost me a dime.
Nice.
My body tells me when I need to soak in a tub. It's almost like I have that Staples easy button. When the stress level's going up, I'm almost looking for the button to hit. And that's my body telling me, you just need some self-care.
Yep.
And for so many years, I never recognized that at all. Like I just didn't see the value of it. But now at minimum an hour a day for myself for self-care. And there's, it's really whatever brings you pleasure, whether it be reading or knitting. Power down hour is another huge one. An hour before bed, cut out all electronics, and just really power down.
Awesome. I love those. And we have more people joining. Sherry Lynn, hello. Missed the beginning. No worries. It's always recorded and you can catch the replay. Awesome. So do you want to get into the exercise of how people can let go of things that don't serve them?
Sure. It's one of the, I run challenges, and the challenges are kind of linked to some of the aspects that I coach. And one particular challenge that I ran a few weeks ago was a de-clutter challenge. And it's really simple. So for anyone that's watching, I recommend if you could try this for 7 days, and just recognize where you are right now, say with your stress level, and write it down. But if you could take 15 minutes a day and just declutter, whether it be a bookshelf, a computer table. My big thing is, and it's one of my triggers, is my kitchen table. When I see my kitchen table getting cluttered, that's when self-sabotage is starting to kick in. So that's how I recognize it. But if you take 15 minutes a day and clear the clutter, because what you don't realize is when you have clutter in one area of your life, you have clutter in other areas. And it's a lot of times it's linked to your mind.
Yep.
So if you've got a lot of clutter in your environment, the chances are you've got clutter in your mind, and that causes chaos, which that's one of the things that prevents people from taking action, is their mind is going a mile a minute. They just don't know where to start. So when you settle things down, then, and that's what the clearing the clutter challenge really does. You start settling things down, you think clearer, and you're more likely to, maybe you're more likely to go out for that walk or make better, healthier lifestyle choices. So that's my challenge to everyone here, anyone watching it, because we've got some positive reviews off of anybody in my group that has tried it. And it's just simply, and it would be your new norm. I'm not going to say stop it after 7 days, because I think you'll start to enjoy it. And some people, paper is the worst thing for clutter. Some people have paper all over the place. Well, try and condense it, maybe down into one book. And maybe clutter in your kitchen cupboards. When you go through and empty a kitchen cupboard, chances are you've got something expired 2 years ago.
Right.
Medicine cabinets are another thing. So it's just, and I tried the mindset, and one of the taglines in the declutter challenge is get in the habit of, when you leave a room, leave it in better condition than when you first walked in. And if you practice that, that's going to be your new norm. And again, it's really geared to, because they link. So it's really tied to calming your mind and clearing any excess clutter in your mind. It's almost like a mind dump.
Yep. So true. And Sherry Lynn's agreeing. I find when my house is clean, it's easier to think. She's totally agreeing. Yes, Monique, so true.
Yeah.
And stress level this morning is 0 for once. Awesome. That's so great.
It's really, when you record your stress level, I say from 0 to 10, it's unbelievable. When you start day one, you know what people will say what their stress level is, and just 7 days of clearing the clutter, it'll drop 2 or 3 points, which is amazing. And then when you drop your stress, you can start to allow yourself to focus in other areas, which is bottom line. That's what we want to do, right?
Yeah, because when people are just stuck in their stressed out state, they're in that fight flight mode. They're not really having full access to all their capabilities to be like, how can I take care of myself? How can I be resourceful? How can I make this better for myself? They're just like in the freaking out to-do list going over and over. And that's not the most productive thing, to just get stuck in worry and that kind of negative energy.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. And I really like that you say just to do it for 15 minutes, because a lot of people have a hard time starting because they're like, there's no way I can do it all. And I definitely have been like really bad for that. I would used to not study or not start a project unless I had 4 hours of time, because I'm like, this is how much time I'm going to need. So I'm going to wait until I have this block of time. Even if I had a bunch of 30-minute blocks, I wouldn't do anything. But that's a waste of my day, even though I couldn't finish it. I used to be very bad for wanting to sit down and finish something and not just do the little bits. But those little bits accumulate so easily in your life. So just taking those 15 minutes, you can see really big improvements, because at the end of the week, a bunch of 15-minute sections will get you so far compared to doing nothing because you didn't have a whole hour to do it.
And that's so true. And it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it can become part of your new lifestyle. And I've had people that rushed out of the house in the morning and didn't take 15 minutes, but on their lunch they took 15 minutes and cleared the clutter in their car, just because you see the value. And but it just, everything ties in, and again, it will be your new norm. And that's one of the ways you can recognize when self-sabotage. So if you really enjoy, for myself, the kitchen table, I love to have my kitchen table with nothing on it. like nothing.
Yeah.
And the minute it starts piling up, then I notice that maybe I just didn't get on the treadmill for as long as I should have or normally would have. And
Right.
then, so now I can recognize the triggers really, really quickly. And it is a great tool.
Yes. And then great idea. 15 minutes at a time. Yep. Just baby steps. I love that. And how do you help your clients? Like, can you explain more about your longer term program and how you help them build all these healthy habits into their life?
Well, yeah, again, it is, I know people will say, well, do you give a diet program? Well, no, I don't give a diet program. I mean, I can definitely recognize different food groups that we have, and I have like it's red, and keeping in mind, this is all a part of my course. So
Right.
this was provided to me, but there's different groups, and it's part of JJ Virgin, her diet program where she puts the foods red, yellow, and green. So, and a lot of reasons sometimes diets fail is you can't ask somebody to go from, say, double cheeseburger, which might fall in the red section, to a salad, which is green. That's not sustainable. You have to make gradual changes, just like the 15 minutes. So you might move from a red food group to a yellow food group and then to a green food group.
Right.
My first, a lot of the first few weeks of my program is I try to cover all 5 aspects that I deal with and break it down so it's manageable. And again, recognizing that, food isn't normally the issue. It's why we're eating the food. So a lot of people are emotional eaters. You eat when you're stressed, you eat when you're happy, you eat when you're sad, you eat when you're busy, you eat when you're tired. These are all emotional. They're emotional triggers.
Yes.
And so you have to be able to uncover those first, and then you have to provide a solution to those.
Definitely.
And then you can work on the food aspect. But it's recognizing your triggers. And there's so many different triggers, like, again, environmental, physical, like there's just so many different triggers. It's important that you recognize those and address it. And then let's move into the food portion. But the first few weeks of my program are, let's figure out your triggers. Let's put a game plan in place. And some people, and I've just started this where I'm going to be doing just one-off sessions. Because not everybody needs the 90-day program.
Right.
Some people just need a tough love call. I had a girl the other day. We went through that, and she's like, "Wow, I got more in one session with you than 6 months on my program." And because, in all honesty, I'm not. If you need to be babied, I'm very supportive. I'll cheer anybody on. But when you tell me what you picture yourself, where you picture yourself being, I will hold that picture in place for you, and I will give up on you, and I'll push. And that's the one thing with coaching is everybody wants to feel comfortable. Well, when you're comfortable, you're in your comfort zone. When you're in your comfort zone, you're not really getting your results.
Transformation, yeah, exactly.
So the coach pushes, and people get sour, and they're like, but at the end, you get the results.
Definitely.
And that's bottom line. That's the most important. And that's what, so if I can coach one person to make some healthier lifestyle choices, then yay me. And for me, it keeps me on track, because this is a battle I'm going to fight every day for the rest of my life. And like I said, if I'm failing, that means I'm trying. It's when you're not even trying that that's a sad part.
Right. Yeah. And I like that you encourage people to be aware of their triggers, because there are so many other things. Like, I definitely encourage my people to check in with their body, because we don't take the time to check in, and we're just like instant I get this feeling, so I do that because I've always done it, instead of checking in and being like, okay, what am I actually like feeling or thinking here? It's like, am I just really exhausted? Do I need to give myself a nap, or do I need to go to bed earlier? It's like, why do I need like a fifth glass of coffee or something? It's like, do I maybe just need some water? Like, what other better things can you shift in when you're more aware of your body and what your body truly needs? I love that.
Oh yeah, it's so true, because really, I mean, you can change if you're changing all your eating habits,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you'll take the weight off, but that means those eating habits, you have to stick with them for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a lifestyle change.
yeah, and not everybody is prepared to do that. I'm sure, we had Easter dinner at my house yesterday. I want to eat what I want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to eat what, day three, lunch period tells me to eat. I want to eat what everybody else is eating. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I eat smaller portions, and I do
Yeah.
make healthier lifestyle choices, but
Mm-hmm.
I know my triggers. And unless you know your triggers, then the food aspect of it is just one portion. And
Yeah.
once you take the weight off, the minute you start eating differently, because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't fixed your triggers and
Right.
you haven't come up with an action plan, then it's not going to make a difference in the long term.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the color codes that you guys have, because it is just like moving little baby steps. Like, I used to be such a fussy eater and identified with being a fussy eater, and was fine having like 10 things that I eat. One of them being like chicken fingers and fries and like pizza. And just like when I turned 20, I realized that I was in charge of my life. So I started adding a little bit better things. And at the time, I thought drinking Boost or Carnations, like things that were chocolatey but also had this nutrition stuff in it, was good. So that was my baby step for a while. And I slowly added things in so that I got to the point where I was drinking smoothies every day that have real fruits and vegetables, and juicing and doing all these wonderful things. But I didn't start like that. I didn't go from eating crappy junk food and like fast food and a lot of processed food to a like more healthy, rawish lifestyle. I made those little gradual changes over years so that they were sustainable, and they always felt really good to me. And they were just little movements outside my comfort zone. So I was transforming little bit by little bit.
And it becomes your new norm. Like,
Yes.
say, what you do is you replace, say, one food item in the red group, move it to the yellow, and even
Mm-hmm.
to the green, and then you do another thing, and eventually you don't even want to go back to the red. Like, there's
Exactly. It makes you feel gross going back to the bad stuff.
and you lose a desire,
Mm-hmm.
which is what gets everybody into this situation. I mean, I'm talking about personal situation, um,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it was so much easier to go through a drive-through and grab the unhealthiest version of food. I felt I was always rushed.
Right.
But when I took time out of that and realized that, you know what, it just takes as much time just to throw a meal together, a healthier meal,
Mm-hmm.
and do it that way. But then I did that for quite a few years and didn't really see any results. But I again was missing the self-care portion. So
Yeah.
now I work on all areas, and I
Mm-hmm.
work every day. I would love to get on here and say, "Oh, I'm fixed," but no, I'm not.
Sorry.
uh,
Someone went through.
and the thing is, with a lifestyle, living healthy, you just have to get in the mindset. This is not.
Yes.
It's not one day. You're going to do it the rest of your life.
Exactly. It's a commitment to your well-being.
It's worth it, right? At the end of the day,
Yes.
you live an extra 10
Mm-hmm.
or 20 years. If you get to spend 10 or 20 years with more with your grandchildren or your children,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah,
it's worth the effort. Like,
definitely.
effort.
Mm-hmm. I so agree. And then Sherry Lynn commented, that is wonderful, Laura. Thanks. So how can people connect with you after the show? What avenues can they reach you at? Share all of your wonderful things that are happening in your world.
You can reach out. I have a Facebook page, a group, Monique Ellis Health Coaching, or just even my private Facebook, because I put a lot of things on my private Facebook. I'm a one-finger
Wonderful.
typer, so the odd time I'll share it. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of things go on my private, my personal page. So just Monique Ellis, look me up, add me as a friend,
Wonderful.
or you can even email me, Monique Ellis Health Coaching at gmail.com. And if anybody wants to have even a 20-minute discovery session, maybe there is an area that you're struggling in, please feel free, reach out, and we can certainly look at doing one of those as well.
Wonderful. And could you put those in the comments right after so that people can easily click and find your links?
Sure. I certainly. Well, let me put it this way. I will try. Okay.
Wonderful.
Social media, not my expertise, right?
Awesome. I can help you and give you guidance.
Perfect. Hook me up.
Awesome.
Because if you're growing, if you're learning new things, you're growing.
Exactly. You're expanding into all the awesomeness in your world. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this wonderful wisdom with us today. And thank you all for joining us live. Please share it out to any friends or family members who you feel will benefit from it. Tag them, like and love it, so that the Facebook algorithm knows that we're sharing all this wonderful love and light, so that you can be that light for other people and share all this positivity in the world. And definitely make the Love and Light Show a healthy habit in your world. So we're live every Monday at 12 Atlantic, 11 Eastern. So I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Have a wonderful week. Bye.